Hi, and welcome to Mechanical Keyboards Live. I'm your host, skiwithpete. What's going on, everybody? Today I'm wearing my 1up Keyboards hoodie because it's freezing in New York. And also, check out this mustache. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? How are we this evening? Welcome to Brotaku, Anchorbait, Chocan, Medicinal Meth, Deadly Pliers. Did I see Jim Cruz is here? Jim Cruz is here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. This is part of a different part of the show, but I'll get to that afterwards. But this is something else. This is what we're going to talk about. This is the talk about stuff. Where to start? I don't even know where to start. I don't even know. Okay. This is my first live stream build of the LJD61up Universal. So this is the LJD61up kit you know and love, except that it's a universal version. Sorry, this is going to go this way. It's a universal version with the top that lets you put different size bottom row bits on it. So that is that. All right. But that's not where the excitement ends. That's where the excitement starts. PCB mount stabs, because we don't have to do like the old ones where you had to round those. Plate mount stabs. Then we got the interesting bits. But before I get to the interesting bits, don't forget turn on the 4K. What's up, Giovanni McGarley? Atari Whittington? Welcome to the show, guys. Aaron Roberts, what's up? 4K. Let me just press the button. Turn your headphones down now. Reach for your headphones now. Turn it down. 4K. The second thing, God, my face looks so white. It's like it's winter here or something. And also, Movember, everybody. Movember. All right. Aaron Roberts in the house. What's going on, Aaron? Let's get to the next bits. Sorry, I got a bit of a happening. For those of you who don't know, I'm the owner of 1up Keyboards. Go check out 1upkeyboards.com. A lot of the stuff that's on today's show came from 1up Keyboards. I'm just going to change this light a little bit. Just a little bit. That didn't help really, did it? Is that better? Am I making it better or am I making it worse? Yeah, it's better-ish. 4K. We talked about that. Smash the like button. That's the second thing. All right. Also, I wanted to talk about two things. One, this giant tray. Can you see it? Of MX Silence. I'm going to play it right by the microphone. Silence. Silence, everybody. Okay, Cherry MX Silence. I was sent this board of them by the kind people at Cherry because they wanted me to build some stuff with it, so I said I would. We're looking to get these at 1up Keyboards. We're going to talk about that soon. To do that, I'll need this board, and then I did some samples. I'll explain the samples in a minute. The samples and this board, and then what happened and how that leads to this. I'll explain all that. And these, I'm going to explain all that in a second. Forget about that for a second. All right. Let's start out over here. This probably looks pretty familiar to most of you guys. This glass fiber middle. Yeah, you've seen that before. But let's look at this. This looks like a normal GH60. But it is everything but a normal GH60. This is instead a custom-made board. Why don't I show you on Action Cam? This is a custom board that hopefully will be coming soon to 1up Keyboards. You'll notice on the back here, it's got these RGBs along the back. These RGBs mean that this board can be made RGB, which is a big step. And of course, the future version will come with a giant logo on it, UP Keyboard's logo. But in order for me to be able to buy a bunch of them for the website, I first need to be able to test it. And in order to be able to test it, I need to start today. So that's exactly what today's episode is really all about, is about this PCB, adding RGB to the lineup, of course, making the most out of the glass fiber middles. That'll be key to this whole thing. And then doing it on the LJD61up Universal, like why the heck not? So that's where we're headed with this episode. Atari Zero, totally different person. Delatroy is in the house. Delatroy. Delatroy. I don't know what your name is, but I'm trying real hard. All right. All right. Let's get back to this because I want to talk about this for a second. Okay. So mustache, love it. All right. You guys ready for this? Don't forget A, 4K, B, press the like button. What? All right. Any chance of getting it to be USB-C? There is a chance. It is something I'm going to be talking to my people about. All right. Let's talk about this for 1 second. This is the... See, this is a giant board of... Steffi's in the house. What's going on, Steffi? This is a giant board sent to me by the kind people at Cherry. This is actually Cherry of Germany who sent this to me a while ago, for those of you who are following along at home. Anyways, if you pull one of them out, you'll notice a couple things about this that are unusual. I mean, obviously it's a silent, which is unusual enough in itself. This is a genuine Cherry. I don't know. Let me just make sure the focus is good here. Just 1 second. It's just going to take me one hot second here to get this focus just right. Just the way I want it. And it's not there yet. There we go. We're getting closer here. Not getting closer. There we go. Can you see that? Maybe I'll bring it even closer and make it even... Sorry, the focus is on a little slider. You got to grab it with your mouse and then slide it. There we go. You see, this is genuine Cherry. You can see the little Cherry logo up at the top. This color here is a little bit pink. But what's interesting, most interesting, not only what's most interesting, it all happens on the bottom side. Not only do you see the normal 2 pins, those are the normal 2 connector pins there. I need to fix focus again. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. Not only are these 2 pins the normal pins, and of course you have the plate, sorry, not plate, PCB mount pins there. Those are those 2 plastic pins to hold it firmly inside the PCB. But also there's these 2 other little legs sticking out, which is most unusual. Well, I say most unusual. It's not really that unusual. This is common really on a lot of manufactured boards pre-1980. I'm sorry, my mistake. Pre-1990. So Cherry boards pre-1990, what they were doing is they were putting the diodes inside of the switch. So you'll find a lot of really old Cherry PCBs. For example, if you look at the old Dolch or something, you'll probably find that it's got these extra pins on the bottom side. Now, in my build with my new modern board, my new modern PCB, I don't need those. So I'm going to need to open this up regardless. You're going to need to open it up just like this to get this part out, right? I'm just going to get in here and show you. I need to get this little piece out of there. And then I can reassemble it. Then I can reassemble the switch. Put this back in here. Put that back in there. We'll talk about it all in a second. But just when I did this, it got me thinking, is the cherry housing the best housing? Now, let's just show this up close here so you guys can see exactly what makes a silent switch silent. I'm going to change the focus again, so it's going to take a second, but it'll be worth it, believe me. So what makes the cherry switch silent are these little pads that they've put on up at the top of the slider here and down at the bottom of the slider there. You can see there's like little pieces. And those little pieces are soft. And when you smash the slider from the top to the bottom of the housing, it's those, and when they bounce back up, of course, it's those little cushions that actually make these switches silent. Anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. But what I wanted to do really was test out whether... Oh, this has come loose now. I wanted to test out whether another housing was actually better than the cherry ones. And what I ended up finding was a couple different options. So give me 1 second here. I just gotta... There we go. So I first tried Gateron housings, and actually Gateron housings are pretty good for these things. They're a little bit smoother than the typical cherry housing. But then I tried the Zelio housing. And what do you know? The Zelio housing makes them even smoother and even nicer. Now, you want to hear something weird? Do you want to hear something weird? I also did this with Pandas and B-Suns, and those housings stopped it from being silent. Can't explain it. Can't explain it. Just got a message in. Dylan Curry says, "Hey Pete, tell Steph thanks for the help with the USPS. Any idea why you wouldn't be able to flash a GH60 Satan? My new one doesn't want to get reprogrammed." Interesting. Were you the guy with the reset button questions? I've had to reflow a reset button before. You might want to try that. If you hadn't already received the email back from us, that's something you might want to try. Anyways, to cut a long story short here with the different housings, I ended up choosing the Zelio housing as the best housing for these silent switches. So then I made another decision. Because I'm going with the RGB PCB, I thought what I would do is I would actually put SIP sockets into them all. So this one isn't quite right because it doesn't already have the SIP socket, so I got to open this one up anyway. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build this board with SIPs. So starting this over here, put that over there with it. What I can start to do is not start with those, but instead start with all of these housings that I've already opened up from a previous project and start to line them up just like this. Oh, whoops. Silencios, you could, but instead I'm going to go with Xylants. I think these are called Xylants. Zelio housings. So what I'm doing is combining the tops and bottoms of Zelios with the Cherry MX springs and sliders of the MX Silence. And then I'm going to add SIP sockets just because I'm crazy. Well, if you're already opening up the little housing, you might as well. You might as well. Cool, so that's my plan. What are you guys up to on this beautiful Saturday evening? It is freezing here in New York, and I mean that not in a figurative, but instead in a literal sense. It is below freezing outside right now. It's a very cool evening. This switch tuning plate was given to me by Mr. Rooks. Real nice guy, Mr. Rooks. Don't need so much of those right now. Are those nice? Yeah, they're pretty nice, actually. They're a nice switch to use, and of course, they'll be super office friendly. And then, assuming that the PCB works out, they'll also be fairly spectacular. Vintage blacks. Everybody loves a vintage black. All right. So now that I've got all these lined up, what I'm going to do, start popping in these SIP sockets. Steffi is patiently waiting for switches to arrive. Nice. What switches you got coming, buddy? Now, if you've never done SIP socketing, it is a pain in the butt. Just takes a while. Gotta be patient. Gotta be patient. I don't really feel like being patient tonight, if I'm honest. The reason I don't feel like being patient is that I have a lot to do. But I'm gonna be patient anyway. I do have a lot to do. I have many boards to build. Many things to do. But tonight is a test of my patience. Oh, whoops. Don't forget, of course, to smash that like button. Today I said I will be building this LJD61up Universal with silence. You know what I didn't do though? I didn't mention that I was going to use SIP sockets on there, did I? Oh well. We definitely sell SIP sockets on oneupkeyboards.com. I just remade the switches and parts section of the website, in fact, for those of you who are observant enough to notice. It's now called Parts and Tools, and switches have their own section on the website, so please update your links. Also, for those of you who are new to the stream, don't forget to press like, don't forget to press subscribe. We're going to be streaming as long as it takes to put together this board, and maybe beyond that. There's a couple other things that I'd like to get to, and I might just do this evening. Meanish, welcome to the stream, buddy. Alex Sheriff, I didn't already say what's up. What's up to you, man? Welcome to the stream. As I get more and more keyboards around me, these exotic switches are really what does it for me. Erlicta, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. For those of you who've come from Reddit or who have Reddit accounts, don't forget to upvote the information about tonight's live stream so that more and more viewers will be able to find it. These switches are going to be a butt to put together. Don't forget, on top of this bit, I've still got to clip the PCB mounts off the bottom of most of them. Fun, fun, fun. It's going to be an all fun evening of funness and switch building. I've almost SIP socketed 15 out of the 61 that I really eventually need. Obviously, because I'm doing this right now, I'm not looking at the chat as often as I probably should. Don't forget that Super Chat is enabled. If you definitely want me to catch a message, please Super Chat it at me. I definitely catch and read out all of the Super Chats. And, of course, all of the proceeds raised from the Super Chat go directly to this channel so that I can build more cool stuff, get better cameras, better angles. Right now, I'm putting in these SIP sockets. You can see them there. That SIP socket allows me to put in and remove an LED without desoldering, which is convenient. Whoops. You know, a lot of times this show is about helping people gain confidence so that they can build their own keyboard. But on a night like tonight, it's really just about watching me build another end game keyboard. Going through all this detail with these switches, I'm doing this because it's going to make it end game level. Somebody complaining about Zeal. I don't know much about dealing with Zeal except through Zelios and Telios. And I can only say that as far as I'm concerned, they are the ultimate switch. Really, in terms of tactility, I have not found anything better than the Zelio stem. Putting it inside of a Panda housing does indeed make it better, for those of you who are wondering. I can say firsthand because I myself have taken them apart. So again, just going back to this bit, as I mentioned, the diodes, there are diodes inside of these switches. And so what I'm going to do is open them up and remove the diodes. It's pretty easy to do. I just do it with these non-magnetic tweezers, which you can find in the About section or video description below. All I'm going to do is just pop that open like that, take the housing, put it off to the side, but I'm going to put the spring and the switch and the slider right on there like that. Steph, can I ask you a fave? Mm-hmm. Do you remember you made me that bucket last time to put the switch bits in? Mm-hmm. Could you do the same again this time, please? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Don't forget, for those of you who are new, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. And of course, say hi. All these mods are in here because they are members of the community who are knowledgeable about all things keyboarding. We're very lucky to have them here on today's stream, so say what's up to them and see if you can get some help for any comments or questions that you have. Ask about favorite switches, best keyboards, worst keyboards, all those sorts of things. These are the types of people who've spent quite a bit of money on their keyboarding addiction so far. Or they're just genuinely nice people, and that's why I made them mods. Tough to say in every case, right? Tough to say. Anchor bait, silent reds. Yes, we're working on it. We're currently taking the steps in order to do that. It's a process because it's a process. All things that you want to do real easy, that you think would be real simple, it's a process. But yeah, it's going to be hopefully a reality pretty soon. Are Telios worth the money? Aaron Roberts, only you can decide that. JB made Telios on a board, which is actually still right behind me. It's a purple Clipe board. And I would tell you on that, yes, they are definitely worth it. They're pretty kick-ass. Of course, silence make for excellent in-office keyboards. But with the backlight, I don't know if it's quite going to be an office keyboard for me. We'll see, we'll see. You know what I've been forgetting to do the last couple of these? Is take out the... Let's take this out. So what I'm really making here is Cherry MX Silent in Zelio housings. So what do you want to call that? And I'm making them with what do you want to call those? SIP sockets. Cool, so that's what I'm up to, and I'm just going to keep on doing it. I'm just crossing the threshold here to number 15, which means I'm one away actually. I'm 1/4 of the way done the switches after this one. Add lube to make true silent switches, my mans. So I have done some lubricating in the past, and I actually did a test with lubricant on this, and I actually preferred, I know you won't believe me, but I actually preferred this non-lubed. So I'm going to stick with the non-lubed version for this. It was actually a conscious choice. That's it. We're 50%. We're past the 50% of this board. The 1/4 mark of the way mark. Steph, darling, can I ask a fave again? Do you have any of the Nivea lip balm stuff? Do you have any of the lip balm for men stuff?
There's Nivea stuff just on my desk.
Okay, because I'm either licking my lips or dinner was so salty.
That was kind of salty.
There's Nivea stuff on your desk?
Should be on the right side.
Yeah, I got it. Does this have does it have lipstick on? No, I'll use it. I don't mind. I'm happy to put some lipstick on. It's November. One of my least favorite tasks in making keyboards is opening switches. So here I am spending my Saturday evening watching Pete open switches. These are, I gotta say, these cherries, this housing, I think is a new housing because I don't think I've ever opened such a buttery housing from Cherry before. It's super buttery. For those of you who are wondering, I don't think it's that they're retooled. I think it's actually that they're using a new plastic. I think the tool is probably exactly the same as it ever was. But the MX is the gold cross point, and the gold cross point are actually these two gold leaves in here. The way they work is as the switch moves down, this leaf contacts, it moves and contacts. That's MX. Excuse me. Well, if you guys are just tuning in, don't forget to smash that like button and to press the subscribe button. But this looks to be one of those behemoth 4-hour streams, and this is just one part of it. This is just the part where I'm doing the first initial round of switches. So there's a lot yet to come. Don't forget, if you are going to stick around and then take off, to come back in a bit, because that's when things will be really taking off. For those of you who are here early, though, don't forget to go check out oneupkeyboards.com. We released a couple new things this week, including the new LJD61up Universal stainless steel, which is a pretty cool board if you'd like to make a board very similar to the one that I'm making today, but in stainless steel. We also have two huge pieces of news coming in the next couple of weeks, so please do stick around. They will shock you to the ground. And when I'm all done this, I'm going to turn it into a 4-minute video set to music where you can watch me build this thing in super speed. Pete, please make a high-profile sandwich case. Yep, that sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? That is just one of the many things that we're currently talking about doing. Trust me when I say lots of cool stuff happening at the moment. Of course, the Clipe cases are just a short while out. We shouldn't be too long. We should be able to get more of those in. Any do a respray of a case? I haven't done a respray, but I know a lot of people have. There's also hydro dipping, which is popular. I haven't done either of those, if I'm straight with you.
We don't have the space or facilities to do that.
Well, yeah, we don't.
We've been trying to do it on our balcony, which
LJD61up Universal Stainless Steel. When did this happen? That happened this week. They've just launched on the website yesterday. The newsletter came out yesterday morning, followed by a Reddit post about an hour later. And since then, yeah, they've been on the website, just absolutely crushing it. The LJD61up Universal Stainless Steel. We've also, unlike the carbon fiber, we've also kept the easy to assemble or hand wire version on the website as well. So that
with the updated back.
it's got a new updated back. Yeah, we're calling it V2. Those are both much improved. And we also, I think we still have one or two of the blue and one or two of the red old school versions. If you're an LJD61up fan, this might be one of your last chances to get hooked up with that. I'm assuming, who was that? I'm assuming that Meanish has disappeared from the stream to go check that out just as quickly as it could. Anchorbait asks, does the new LJDs have switch top opening? Yes, they do. The new LJD Universals now include switch opening. All right, cool. Let's start clipping some of these down. Let's just switch on action cam so you guys can get a better view of this. Look at them. Look at them shaking. Don't be worried, little fellas. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Ah, you're trapped, suckers. Don't worry. Ah, sucker.
You're in a hug.
Yeah, just having a little bit of fun stuff, that's all. Look at them shaking. You just know somebody's going to take that little clip, cut it up, release it on the internet. Release it on the internet. Wow, that sounds straight out of 1995. He's going to take it, he's going to go on the internet, and then he's going to show people that video, just that one part. And that will be something called a meme. Hashtag 1995. Ah! Ack! All of the little SIP sockets just jumped to their freedom. You can't get away from me. Oh, damn it. Maybe you can if you go through to the other side of the board. Ah! They're escaping. Ah! I see some questions there. That's skiwithpete me. Oh, you're gonna be the guy. This is hot. Don't click. Pete, did you make that switch building board, or is that something you can get somewhere? I had Mr. Rooks make this for me, but it's 3D printed, and I think that you can find them on Thingiverse. I'm not quite sure, if I'm honest. It was all going so smoothly a moment ago. You tried to escape, and then I recaptured you. You are stuck. There we go. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't even know why I'm SIP socketing these things. I don't like LEDs. I'm building an RGB board for you guys because I'm not even down with the RGB. I think I might be allergic to RGB. I'm allergic to RGB. I'm building them anyways. Whoops. Cool. Then all you do on this thing is just flip them upside down, push them out. On coining the switch, you're making ghetto silence. There they are, my friends. There they are. Look at them. You can actually see now with the full clear housing, you can see here at the top there's that little thing that stops it from making noise on the way up. And you can also see at the bottom the thing that stops it from making noise at the bottom of the housing. So overall, pretty cool. All right, well, nothing to do but do the other half here. Let's just keep rocking on. For those of you just tuning in, I'm building an LJD61up with Zelio housed silenced Cherry MX silence. That's what I'm up to. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Booyah. You always seem high of your face. What? You what? High of my face what? My face does what? You want to talk about... Are you trying to talk about this? Is that what you're trying to talk about? Is this? My face is this? What? Put this in upside down because I got crazy. You know, I haven't even looked over at the number of likes yet. Can somebody give me a current count? What do we got? What are we doing? 10? We at 10 yet? Selfie switches. Archon says, I've always wanted a 60% silent for school. I can understand that. For those of you who haven't subscribed or have just subscribed, don't forget every Saturday morning, new content comes out every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And I live stream as often as I can, which typically is weekends. This weekend I've been up to my usual shenanigans. I'm also the owner of 1up Keyboards, so I do quite a lot of 1up Keyboard stuff as well. Today we were checking in all sorts of new stock new stuff that'll be coming to the website in the next couple days and weeks. We got a fresh shipment today of JD40 stainless steels. That's just arrived in, which is pretty dope. Putting in more SIP sockets. Yeah, I built a macro pad last week with Gateron browns, and I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of like it. Never thought I would say that about browns. Whoops. Whoops. Down through the hole. We have new keycaps coming in a week or so. That's coming. What else we got coming, Steph? What else is new to 1UP keyboards?
Next round of clipes.
Next round of clipes. For those of you who haven't seen yet, of course, there's the Universal LJD61up with black carbon fiber. There's also the new stainless steel version. Both support switch opening, which was asked earlier, even though it's silver carbon fiber is going to be coming next week. We're doing silver carbon fiber LJD61up Universal. We also have silver and black. We're switching over on the Universal plates to the Pro style, so that'll be coming out next week. And then, like I say, we have...
What does that mean?
What's that?
Which means?
Well, go look at our brass plates. They're available currently in Pro styles. So you can go see those. It's a big change, I think, for the industry. And it's going to make everything a bit better as we continue to go forward. Will you sell the clear caps that ship with the Sweet 16 separately? If you have a Sweet 16 and you need Sweet 16 caps, yes. Will we sell them just on their own? No. because we buy them proportional to the number of Sweet 16s that we have. But that's not to say in the future we won't sell something similar to that, but that's the way it's currently looking. The Sweet 16 white obviously came out last week, which is spectacular. I'm a big fan of those Sweet 16 boards. Just as an everyday macro pad just to sit on your desk to accomplish simple tasks is well worth it. Whoops. Oh, my butt. The 1up Keyboards hoodie. Just flexing that, you know. Just flexing it. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Steffi, darling, any chance you could grab me a glass of water?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, love. Don't forget today's stream is available in full 4K. All of the cameras are now 4K, which is spectacular. Thank you to my super chatters, to those of you who support the channel, who supported this channel on PayPal and on Patreon. Thank you. I'll be right with you. Thank you. Leander never really left. He's a close business partner of ours. Obviously, we're big fans. He never really left. He's always been around. He's just decided to go more into the design and manufacturing end, which of course we're very thankful for. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna run a couple things through his site again, which sounds like you guys are excited about, which rightly so. He's a super top-notch dude. And, yeah, we're big fans here at 1up Keyboards. For sure. Cool. That's all the SIP sockets in place. Oh, me and JHD live in the country next door. Oh. Ah, je comprends. Not that you speak French in the country next door to his, but je comprends anyway. Name JHD, which country do you live in then? Actually, why don't we get a roll call? Where is everybody from? Let's get shout outs all across the board here. Let's see where everybody's dialing in from this evening. Where you guys all at? A roll call. A roll call. I just saw that Steffi's off to bed. USA. USA. Oh, Poland. Hello to Poland. Outside Philly. Just outside of Philly is where I was born and raised. My school ground is where I spent most of my days. Jeremy P's in Florida. Sharpie is here. What's going on? Sharpie? Argentina. Ooh, Tennessee for Deadly Pliers. Tennessee's not really a country, but the country is USA. So is Florida. Ought to be a country, kinda.
It's a big country divided up into states. I've been to Tennessee.
Nor have I been to Tennessee.
Been to Florida several times.
I think it's pronounced Florida.
Florida.
Florida. I think. Cool. Well, welcome. Don't forget to smash that like, smash that subscribe button. Where are we at? 31 watching with 25 likes. Aaron Roberts says, Australia. Australia? Yeah, been to Australia. Whereabouts in Australia from? From. I don't know. That accent is pretty poor. EUESAY. So EU is European Union. ES, I'm going to say, is España. What's AY, though? Tell you what, all the last 2 weeks I've been using that Panda board that I built. The Panda Zelios that I built on the Halloween build. I've been using that at work every day for the last couple of weeks. Hot damn. Those are some good switches. Oh, I see what you're saying, Sharpie. You're saying USA, not EU, España, AY, which is like outside of Madrid. There's a place called Ayaya. Sweden for Mange HD. Sweden. Mange HD, we were watching the Sweden NHL game today, which was between the Colorado Avalanche and the Ottawa Senators. Steph and I watched that from our living room. Just smash on in there. Looks like I am halfway through the second deck, which means I'm 3/4 of the way done overall of the switches. Just gonna keep on cranking on. Some of that hockey, eh? Yeah, eh? Watching that hockey, eh? That singer you had, Janice, on there. Nice top yesterday. But her renditions of the Canadian and American national anthems were interesting. I was going to say inaccurate, but interesting is another way of saying it.
The words were all correct.
Impart Jesus. Welcome to the stream. Just keeping on over here. We got a ton to get through still. Got to put these switches together. Then I got to clip them. Then I got to test a PCB. Then I got to put some stabs on it. Then I got to build it. So, Mange, Anthony Mayo, why are you switching the casings? Oh, so for those of you just tuning in, basically these MX Silence that I got I got these directly from Cherry. These are actually pre-release Silence. This is before they had Silence available for general sale. They actually, if you look at them real close, here, they actually came with diodes built into them. That's the diode that I'm holding onto there. That's how you connect the switch normally. Sorry, that's how you connect the switch normally. Those two pins these two pins here, this one and this one. These are the PCB stabilizers, this pin and that pin. And then this is a diode that's actually installed inside of the casing. So I needed to remove those anyways. So when you open this up to remove, let me just show you here. Once you get inside of this casing and you remove this diode, which I need to do for my PCB anyways, once you've done that, you think to yourself, wait a sec, what is the best possible housing for this little slider? And the answer to that I've found is actually the Zelio housing. So I just happen to have a whole bunch of Zelios already cracked open. So I thought, why the heck not do this? And that's what I'm up to. So I'm just cracking these little silents, cracking them open, moving the stems over inside the Zeals, and then popping those out and chucking them in. You know what I'm saying? So supposedly new manufacturer for the cherries have smoother housings. They do, but they're still not as smooth as the Zelio housing. It feels to me that they've just gone with a softer plastic on the Cherry MX housings. At least that's what I'm feeling as I do this. And these legs are pretty soft. I would say overall the whole thing is kind of soft. So I think it's the plastic that they've improved rather than the actual tooling, but I could be wrong. Or maybe they've done both the tooling and the housings. Goes in there. This goes over here. How much would one switch with the Zeal housing roughly come out to if you made it yourself? So the Zeal housing is $1. I don't know where you can buy these Cherry MX silents at the moment. We're looking to get them, and I think they're going to be around 60 to 75 cents when we do. So that would put you around $1.75, roughly. I'm only just guessing, and that probably doesn't include shipping to wherever in the world you are. But that's what you asked. Can You guys see them all shaking? This little guy shaking? SLVR says, "Yo, Pete, I just picked up my first Model M today. Awesome. I also have a Model M. Love it very much. I'm going to try to get one of the SSKs off of Brian McWhort, who's BM McWhort, who hangs around in this stream sometimes. SLVR says, "I thought my TKL was big on my desk." Oh, Mange HD, you know what I'm just thinking of? By the way, don't forget to check in the About section today for the Discord channel link. There's a link to join the Discord so you can hang out with us and talk all the keyboards you want on the 1UP Keyboards Discord channel. Mange HD is the man you want to talk to about that. All right. That's 60, but I need to do one more. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open this one up to be my space bar. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to do... All I really need to do is take the bottom housing, put in a couple sips, and then I'm going to take one of these Panda springs, and then take one of these, and this is going to be my space bar. How I'm going to tell it apart from everything is that I'm going to draw a little dot on the bottom of it. Black mark. Actually, I could do it in this white thing. There we go. There we go. Steph, what are you doing?
It's right there. My hands are cold.
Your hands are cold. Do you want to put a jumper on?
My nose is cold.
What's that?
My nose is cold, so my nose is...
You know what? I'm just going to grab a quick little... It's not exactly a fast-moving show tonight, is it? Harshit is in the house. What's going on, Harshit? Okay, let's get this off of the desk, and this off of the desk, and this over here, and this going over that way. Alright, and that's enough of these for now. All right, well, next up, let's just do a quick play with this PCB. Check if it works. All right, so this is a brand new PCB to me. This is genuinely the first time I've ever plugged it in. Ski with Pete, how long would you say until we can buy MX Silence? I genuinely can't tell you the answer to that. I don't actually know. We found a supplier. The supplier has pretty strict... look at that. All the LEDs are working. They have pretty strict compliance laws that they need to meet in order to sell us stuff. So, you know, we genuinely are moving as fast as we can. All right, well, everything is working here. Yeah, just testing out a bunch of them, but everything is working so far. It's good news. That means that we can progress to the next step. Actually, there's 2 steps to go until we get there. Oh. We gotta clip the legs off the... Where's the white-legged one that I just did? Do you guys see it? How come I don't see it? Whatever. Oh, there's the white one. Okay, so the white one... The white one's the space bar, so I'm going to leave the legs on that. I'm also going to leave the legs on one other one, which is going to be my... Well, I'm just going to remove the legs from everybody else. It's going to be my backslash, that one with the legs. Why did I think it's per key RGB? I don't know. The whole reason I was putting the SIP sockets in was so I could do single color LEDs. If they were SIP socketed, then if they were RGB LED backlit per switch, then I wouldn't be using Zelios because they don't have the SMD LED socket hole openings. I agree with Pete. I'll start my full-size M for now, but I'll get an SSK M would be amazing. Yeah. Please don't click. Please. I don't understand. Tinkerbait, I don't know what you're saying. Don't forget to check out oneupkeyboards.com. For those of you who don't know, I'm not just wearing the hoodie. I am the owner of oneupkeyboards.com. These are super hot hoodies. They make awesome Christmas presents in case you have a keyboarder in your life or you're thinking about asking for a present for Christmas. Nothing says I love to keyboard like your very own. You know what I'm saying? Your very own mustache. You know what I'm saying? Ow. Oh yeah, sure. That's all it is, though. It's something random. It's not something you can actually get your hands on. At least not yet. Actually, you guys should tell me if you'd want one of these sorts of things. We got these, you know, the swell bottles. We got some swell bottles with the One Up Keyboards logo on them. You can see they're super subtle. Let me switch over to Action Cam. There they are. It's the same. So these are, to say they're extremely limited edition is an understatement. There really are only 5 of them in the world. Steph, do you want to put that back?
You can leave it over there for a bit.
All right. Anyways, yeah, we just thought we'd try that out. SLVR says, still doing Movember. Yes, until the 1st of December, I will indeed be doing the rest of Movember. Yeah. Benjamin Smith, what's going on? Right now I'm clipping the legs of these tweaked and tuned cherry silence. Somebody's calling them ghetto silence. Are you trying to look like the stash with the Pete emote in the Discord?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the Pete emote in the Discord is based on a true Movember. Think about it. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? I've got to figure out a better foot pedal for this one. You know what I'm saying. Just gonna do that. Do another quick one. Don't forget, when you're doing this sort of thing, trimming these PCB stabs off of the bottom of the switches, remember to wear eye protection. I'm wearing eye protection, of course, so I don't wear different eye protection, but you've got to remember to put eye protection on, because the last thing you want to do when you're building a keyboard is have to take time out to go visit a hospital because you have a small piece of plastic jabbed in your eye. That's on behalf of future you and also the doctor who really doesn't want to see you with a plastic thing stuck in your eye. Always keyboard responsibly. Silent red Gaterons. I haven't come across them yet in the real world. I know they kind of exist, but they also kind of don't exist. I know that Gateron was looking to do a test run of them, and they were there were some people trying to do the test run. I don't know that the design had quite been finalized yet, so I was a little weary of them. These Silent Reds are actually the prototype Reds that Cherry sent me, oh gosh, over 6 months ago. Well over 6 months ago. I just haven't had a chance to build anything with them. I did a giveaway with them. Did 2 giveaways with them, in fact. But they gave them to me so I would build something with them too. So I had some that I had stashed over to the side. So I'm going to build with them. I know JB was talking about building some stuff during the week with them too, so you got that to look forward to. Looks like I'm about halfway through clipping these. Here we are. What are we looking at here? If you haven't already smashed that like button, you go ahead and smash that like button now. We're coming up on 1 hour and 50 minutes of streaming. So almost a 2 hour mark. So far, all I've done is mod some switches. I'm not even done finishing the switches. Just rocking on here. Rock on, rock on. Anthony Mayo, it's calming you seeing this. Prepare the switches. You know it is. Don't forget today's show is available in full 4K. That's right. You can watch me clipping little legs off of little switches in 4K. Why wouldn't you want to do that? That's a question. You can see this mustache in 4K. Put some smooth jazz on in the background. I don't have any smooth jazz. And the worst part is, Mage, I can't use music unless it's royalty free. In my royalty free library. Actually, I could put on some royalty free music. Steph, do you want to do that? Do you know how to play music? No. No what?
No.
Yes, you do. On Kodi, you do.
Alexa, turn on Kodi.
Okay.
By the way, never talked about it because it took for frigging ever to set it up. But we actually got the Logitech Harmony remote. Dudes, go get one of those. So good.
Oh, but your stupid fish didn't work.
Really?
Alexa, turn on Kodi.
Maxwell, I have good and I have great news for you. This board should in the end be comparable to the GH60. Within a few dollars of it anyways.
Why won't you turn on the fish? She doesn't want to turn on the fish. Is that a separate command?
No.
Alexa, turn on Kodi.
Okay.
She won't turn it on again though. You need to.
Somewhere else it's screwed up.
Yeah. Let's ski with Pete watch. Uh-oh. What am I watching here? Ah, smooth jazz.
How do you know it's royalty free?
I missed that one. That one had taken my eye out. Are they bricking that stuff next year? Well, I heard that they're bricking the Link stuff next year, not the Harmony stuff. The Logitech Harmony and the Logitech Link aren't the same thing.
Do you want to? Well, how do I know what?
Yeah, Max. Well, this is going to. This is what I'm hoping for. It should be comparable, anyways. It should be comparable. That's my hope. But I gotta test it. I gotta make sure it works. So once I get the green light on that, then I'll let you know. And I don't know if you know this, but PCB development is not a quick sport.
No error. Share not available. Oh no, I don't actually know how to do this.
Go to. No, you need to go to new music, files, add music. That was impressive. Okay, let me do it real quick. I don't see anything here. Do you see it?
See what? It's screen blocked out.
That's okay. I don't know what the answer is.
How would you done to this not working?
Yeah, that's what I need. Here you go. Pick some music. Oh wait, now you have to click OK. Okay. Yes. Okay, now go to songs. You're gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. Underglow. No, hold tights are for removing the switches. If you want to remove the LEDs, you use SIPs. SIPs are for LEDs. Hold heights are for switches. Do we get jazz music? You're going to get Antis. Antis is the music that I put on my 5-minute compression videos. He's kind of cool. He does royalty-free stuff, which is great. And if Steph can figure out how to make it play, that's what you're going to get.
Loading.
It's loading.
Mm-hmm.
What's loading?
So loading media from files.
But you should be able to play it.
Wow. No options cancel.
Oh, it's just scanning media information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can cancel that.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Wouldn't cancel the transfer?
Transfer.
Loading.
Media information. You don't need media information.
I don't know what. These are your different builds.
Yeah, and so it's old music. Those are the ones you can play from, or you can just play these. If you don't like it, skip it. Harshid Goal says, loves the stash. Yeah, man. Maxwell. So the PCB has RGB underglow. You got that right. And now he's adding RGB LEDs to the board. No. No, I'm not adding RGB LEDs to the board, guys. What are you guys talking about? I'm adding SIPs so that I can add single color LEDs to the switches. Steph's not digging any of the music. That's cool. It's almost Stranger Things.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Groovin'. Oliver Loon, welcome. Don't forget to check out oneupkeyboards.com. Brotaku's back. What's up, Brotaku? At the moment, I'm just clipping the legs off the PCB mount switches. I'm almost done, actually. This is my last one. As soon as I'm done this. Steph wasn't digging that one. Don't skip too many, Steph. Just let the groove happen.
No.
Just let the groove happen, babe. It's very Stranger Things.
Fall asleep.
Yeah, this sucks.
Oh, 1979 with added cheese.
1979 with added cheese. Hit it. The fuck? All right. Oh my god, that took forever. It took forever in a day. That was real painful. All right, I'm gonna put those slightly over there. Now it's time to lube some stabs. Everybody's favorite part, lube some stabs, where I talk about that guy who went like this and said that these were really rattly, and then all you have to do is just add a little bit of lube and then they stop being rattly. The same way that he was adding lube to the other stabs that he was comparing them to. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you're already sick of me talking about it, because I'm already sick of the guy who was talking about it. And that's that. Lubing these is super easy, as you've seen 100,000 times. Just fire a little bit of lube in here. Fire a little bit of lube in here. Steph, could you grab me a toothpick, please, darling? Triggered with Pete is back. Told you I'm not going to talk about it. You, darling? Notice it's not rattly anymore. Boring. It's boring. That's right, kids. You don't even have to disassemble your stab to stop it from being rattly. You can do it while the damn thing's still assembled. You can even do it after you've finished building your board. No kidding. These are all what you call true facts. True facts. For those of you just tuned in, this is True Facts with Ski with Pete. I'm your host, Ski with Pete, reminding you that true facts are the only facts. little too much lube on this one. So I'm trying to spread it across both of them. Criticism should be dealt with proof. That's what I'm doing. I'm proving. And you should always look to improve your products. What? Trust me when I say there is no shortage of people spreading falsehoods on the internet. You should go take a look for something called the McRib effect. Benjamin Smith asks, what's the main keyboard you use? Well, as of 2 weeks ago when I built that red Clipe with, that's been my main one ever since. The red Clipe with the Pandelios, the Panda Housing Zelios. That's been my main board ever since. But, actually no buts, that's been my main board ever since. Before that I was using a 67 gram board. 67 gram Zelio board was my everyday driver. But now, like I say, ever since I finished that Pandelios board, that's what I've been up to. I don't know. I mean, I like to try different boards, but I mean, I say those are my main boards. That's because that's what I have at work. But at home, I want a little bit more in there. At home, I mean, I got this one right beside me here. This is a 65 gram. This is my 65 gram LJD61up red carbon fiber. That's right by my side here. It's kind of my always and forever board. Love that one. I just use it at home. Actually, now that I say that, both of my everyday boards have red bases. And of course, Steph has that Gattistotle board, the LJD61up, or the TKL as we call it, because we don't want to be sued by a certain soft drinks manufacturer. Ripster is the best keyboard scientist. Nobody can compete. That is what I would like to call a true fact. I don't even think anybody does compete with him. He's in his own stratosphere. As long as I've been doing this and as much as I enjoy doing it, I just can't compete. Off-brand, it says, is this a 1-up board? Yes, it is. This is a 1-up keyboards LJD61up that I'm going to be building here. With a prototype that we're hoping should be available sometime in the early 2018. I think that's all of them. Sorry, triggered. Okay, just give me 1 second. I just want to go wipe this lube off of my hands, and then I'll be right back. Sure. Steph, can you mute the music for a second? So the story of 1UP goes like this. Originally, when we started in the community, we're talking about November of 2014. Is it November of 2014? Is that right? You know, it would be. November of 2014, I started with my first YouTube video about mechanical keyboards. That's when I got my first one. In December of that year, my dad, who'd been repairing old sewing machines, hooked us up with a really heavy-duty old sewing machine. Which Steph immediately took to and began developing the very first 1UP keyboards sleeves. And as the story goes, I got my first sleeve from Steph, and I said, you know what, Steph, these are so good, you need to put them on Mech Market for sale. And she said, no, no, no. And I said, yes, yes, yes. And she said, no, no, no. And I said, if you put 1UP on Mech Market, it will sell. 1UP keyboards. That is the origin of the name 1UP. Because all she put up was one, and that sold. And somebody asked for another one, and that one sold. And it all started by putting 1UP on Mech Market. And that's the story of 1UP keyboards. That's how we started. And shortly thereafter, I got into a spat with one of the community members. His name is JD. I asked for the dimensions to the JD40 because I was such a big fan of it. He didn't know that I was a big fan of it. He just thought that I was coming to make some sleeves of a product I knew nothing about, which I didn't really know anything about. I just knew that I liked it. Fast forward years later, JD is the designer of the LJD61up that I'm building today. We've become really close. Not only is he the premier, in my mind, the best designer in the mechanical keyboards community, but he's also a really nice all-around dude. And the L is actually Leander, who we also have a very good partnership with. He's a really nice guy, based out of Norway. And it's through them that we've grown 1UP Keyboards from the site with the best of the best sleeves to the site with the best of everything. And that's what we want to be. If you look at some of the other places that sell mechanical keyboards, they tend to sell a range of stuff from the very cheap to the very, very expensive. But 1UP Keyboards is all about the very best of the very best, and that's all. We don't care about the cheap stuff. We don't care about the knockoff stuff. We just want the best of the best. So that is how 1UP Keyboards went from being a tiny little blip doing a very highly specialized thing to being what we are today. Does that answer your question? Is that what you wanted to know, or did you want to know something different? Leandrin is my waifu. He's a good dude, isn't he? Okay, I just found a little something. There is indeed a resistor missing, but even if I could put it in place, it looks like it'll actually be shorted. Yeah, you can custom order them at 1upkeyboards.com. I would recommend that you do it soon, for reasons that I will not say on this stream, but that you can take my word for. These are the resistors. So this is missing a resistor, but it's in a terrible location. So I'm going to try it anyways, but it is in a terrible, terrible location. Just before I do that, I might as well try to assemble. I bought all the parts and pieces to try to do a fan. Let's just see if I got what I need here. Steph, do you know where the filter got to?
What filter? Oh, no, I don't.
What's that?
No, I don't.
Well, you know I had a filter. What's that?
Comment.
So handmade sleeves mean more to me. Going to order one now. Reasons not said on the stream. 1-up sleeves are discontinued, but I hope Pete would not do something so stupid. It's not that they're going to be discontinued. Do you want to say it, Steph?
No.
We're not saying it.
Well, I don't know yet.
I'm going to say it. We're going to put the price up. We're going to put the price way up.
No, way up.
No, but we are. The price has to go up because the demand for them is so insane. We need to regulate the flow of the demand. So get them while you can, boys. I said it out loud. Get them while you can.
Definitely not discontinuing them.
Definitely not discontinuing them. They are a crowd favorite. And they've gone through multiple updates and everything, and they're definitely sticking around. They're not going anywhere, but we can't afford to do them at that price. And I know they're not very cheap at the moment, but they are, yeah,
Handmade.
they're handmade. Stuff. I can't find the filter.
I don't know what you did with it.
Can't find the filter.
Were you using it for something else?
No. It's never been out of its package.
I don't remember the last time I saw the problem.
Can't find the filter.
It's not just on the floor there.
No, I don't see it. Do you have the parts and pieces? Some of these parts and pieces. Can't find the filter. RD Velocibus.
I don't even know where to look for the problem.
Come look on the floor over here.
You said it wasn't on the floor.
It's not currently on the floor.
It's not in the bookshelf?
I looked in the bookshelf, I didn't see it.
Randomly still over here.
Okay, well, I'm not going to build this now then. Haha, look how long these USB cables are. Oh, laughable. Look at this. It's ridiculous. How close do I need a USB thingy to be to this in order to play with it? It's ridiculous. Oh, it's the wrong direction too. Oh, Steph found it. Oh, we're going to build it then. I noticed stickers disappeared from the shop. Stickers have never existed in the shop. You just need to buy something to get a sticker. That's the only way you can get one. Okay, so where did the screws go? There's that screen I was playing with earlier. You remember that? Oh, sticker bomb packs. Oh, Steph, sticker bomb packs don't appear on the website. Can you?
I don't know that we have that anymore. Do we?
I thought we did.
I'll have to check.
Okay, we'll take a look for that. We have the black and white ones too that we never put up.
But we don't know how many are in those because they're different pack size.
So, how are we going to figure that out?
You have to take them out and count them.
There we go. First one's in. For those of you just tuning in, I'm just building a real quick filter for the soldering iron. Ow! Stabbed myself with that. Ow! That hurt. Not smart, Pete. Not smart. Ow, it hurt. screw, a bolt. Oh, no, it's super painful, honestly. Super painful. You know what would be easier, though? Make JBs count the stickers, yeah. This is super painful. Oh, making a filter. Just making a filter, boys. It's only going to be another minute. There we go. That's through. $37 currently watching. How many likes we got here? 37 as well. 44 watching now, it says. On my side cam here. If you haven't already smashed that like button, go ahead, smash it now. If you haven't already pressed subscribe, go ahead, press subscribe now. For those of you just tuning in, I'm really struggling to get this working. Alright. Just gotta put a all I gotta do now is grab some scissors and cut this. But who wants to use scissors when you have an X-Acto knife? This is going to land me in the hospital for sure. Look at this. Look at what I'm doing, Steph.
What are you doing?
This is not cool. Like, this is for sure, this is hospital stuff.
What are you using?
What? Just an X-Acto knife. I'm just cutting. I'm just hacking right at it. I'm like, you know what? I've got an X-Acto knife in my hand here.
Have you tested that it works?
No? You think I should test it before I finish it? That's crazy. Okay, that's way better. Look at that. Okay. Now it's time to tighten these little puppies up here. Look what I have. Do you sell resistors for keyboards? No, we don't have any resistors actually. We have diodes, but no resistors. I mean, like if you're missing one off your PCB, we could hook you up, but we don't really sell them. Look at this Franken invention I've got here. This is like craziness.
You haven't tested it yet.
I know, but who needs to test it? It's a fan with a couple of fans attached to the fan.
Because you tried to use the filter before and it didn't work.
This one is way more powerful than the last one. Like to a factor of at least 3. Maybe even 4. I don't know, it's difficult to judge because I haven't actually judged it yet, but what I'm saying is that thing is now like that is firmly something. Okay. Okay, next thing I need is this thing. Something like this. Okay. So I've got these now. Now all I need, Steph, look, I just need one of these. Do we have any of those?
What are you holding? I can't see. Oh, no.
Can I have one of those?
I don't know where they are.
There's one in our travel bag.
Is there?
Yeah.
Which has gotten to where? That's a 3-prong.
I need a 2-pronger.
Where does your travel bag go to?
Okay, almost ready. What I need to do is I'm just gonna grab this guy. Just gonna add a little home automation to it.
Not in travel bag.
Not on the travel kit, but can I borrow this one? Just for the purposes of this demo? Because this isn't attached to anything at the moment. This is going to be super rad.
It works.
You ready for this? You all ready for this? It's about to happen. Alexa, turn on bonus.
Okay. Let me see. Is there air coming out the other side?
Yeah. There's air blowing out this side. It's not really... It's not like a vacuum out the front.
Why do you need the screen on the front?
I don't really need the screen on the front. I just didn't want to hit my fingers on it anymore because that's what killed the last one. No. No, bad.
Burn something in front of it and see if the smoke goes.
No, 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 bad.
What?
It's blowing outwards on this side.
Why?
Alexa, turn off bonus.
Oh, did you put one back to front? Okay.
Damn. It was going so good for a while. Stephanie, can I ask you a favor? Can you come and help? Because obviously I screwed this up real bad.
What do you want me to do?
Stop me from being incompetent.
Well, you just have to turn both on and try it, don't you?
I did that and I clearly failed. No, that's the right direction.
So it means that your filter is still not strong enough, or still too thick, that some of the air is coming back at the front.
Is it?
Would be my guess then. Although you should actually try soldering something and see how the smoke goes.
Alexa, turn on bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, some of the air is just bouncing back. Alexa, turn off bonus.
Okay.
Ah! That was no good. Didn't take the whole thing though, that's positive. Okay, let's see what happens when I actually try to solder something with it. Ah. For those of you just tuning in, this is Fans That Don't Suck But Blow with your host, Ski with Pete. Trying to build a keyboard. Alright then. Let's just see what happens. Alright, I'm going to try to put this little... Going to try to line this little, it's got one little resistor I got to put on here. Obviously didn't make it, but it's going to be tough, and that thing is right on top of it. Okay, now let's just check out solder cam. I've got to get this in focus here, so just 1 second. Alright. For those of you who haven't seen solder cam before, you can, of course, keep your eye in the top left corner to avoid any of that dizzy feeling if you start to feel that at all. I don't even know how I can get in there to solder that thing. I mean, I'm just putting solder on the tip here. I'm not even getting close to the damn thing. Forget this. Let's start by putting some solder on these pads, and we'll go from there.
Working, your fan?
Alexa, turn on bonus.
Okay. The whole point of it is the soldering part?
Yeah, I know, and then I forgot to put it on. Yes, that happened.
Super quiet.
Yeah.
I don't see any smoke.
There's just no way. Especially not with that tight like that. It's just... I just can't even get in at it. When I do get in at it... There, that's better. If you believe that. You can buy that for $1. Let me put this. Oh shit. Bonanza. Like, is that actually stuck on there? It is. I mean, what a joke. Well then, let's try to put some on the other side, see what happens. That is as close as I am ever going to get to putting... There's no way it's going to cause a short. I'm opening the door. Oh.
Your fan doing its job?
What's that?
Your fan doing its job?
I don't know.
You didn't solder enough.
I didn't solder enough to really be able to tell. I didn't get anywhere near it. Yeah, it looks like that one is just missing. Again, it's a prototype board. I'm going to talk to the designer and say, hey, where you put that resistor is impossible. It should be somewhere else. It could be on the other side. It could be on the outside. It could be on the... It could be anywhere. It could be a million different places, but it can't be where you put it. So. Okay, cool. Next thing to do is to line this up and this up.
What time did you start your stream?
8 o'clock. I've been streaming for 3 hours and 1 minute.
You're gonna go past your 4 hours?
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to finish this build. I mean, no way. Oh, sorry guys. Steph isn't paying attention to the comments, you see.
No, I'm not.
Ugh. It's going from bad to worse. Well, I don't really have a choice, do I? One. One. That's two. The rate at least is increasing. Ack! Ack! That's it. 4 switches are in. I might as well solder these puppies down, right? Okay, let's crank this puppy up and let's see what happens. Okay, even though I'm soldering in and intending to add the LEDs. I'm not soldering in the LEDs now because if there's any problems, I want to be able to remove the switch. So I would go back and do those afterwards. That's why I'm not doing the SIP sockets now. I'll do the SIP sockets the next time I pass around the board. And that time I nearly just did the SIP sockets without doing the legs. That's crazy. You talk about SIP sockets often enough, that's what you're thinking about. That's what you start soldering. Alright, well that's in. So what we're up to next here. What I'm going to do is get this piece ready to go underneath. Well guys, as you know, I can only maximum do a 4-hour stream. So, looking at the clock with 50 minutes left, I'm going to say this isn't going to happen. What I'd like to do before we go is get stuff soldered in, but even at that, I'm not sure that it's going to be possible. Especially given how fiddly these things are going to be with the... Tell you what though, it is pretty frosty outside. I think I might actually close the door. Alexa, turn bonus off.
Okay.
Can't find the one that I painted white. Do you guys see it? Steffi, can you help me?
Close the door.
I'll close the door. I painted the tip of one white.
The tip of one what?
Oh, is that it? There it is. It fell off. I found it. That's for my space bar.
Cold.
Yeah, it's freezing now, isn't it?
Alexa, what's the temperature?
Currently, in New York, it's 1 degrees with cloudy skies.
What?
1.
Tonight, you can expect mostly clear skies with a low of -1 degree.
Guys, I need to make... Guys, I need to make a quick pit stop. I will be right back. And I'm back. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Sorry about that. Just needed a quick little pit stop, as I say. Only took a moment. All right. All right. This one just won't seem to go in. So let's move it on to another slot here. See if it'll fit in any better over here. There we go. That's no good. Oh, SIP sockets cooperate. Oh, Rick Doe, we'll see you again soon, man. We'll see you again next time. Don't forget to check out the Discord for this channel for 1UP Keyboards. Answer all your keyboarding questions and needs. God, this is painful. I mean, not only am I never, ever in a million years going to use LEDs, but on top of that, it's just making my life miserable. Should have done this with them in situ here. That's what I should have done. Finally! How long did that take? That's for one switch. No, I have a question. Real question though. What makes you hate LEDs so much? Is it the looks or is it installing them that makes it not worth it for you? Um, I That's a great question. Thank you for asking it. There's a couple of things that I hate about them, especially. And I'm happy to talk it through. Just give me 1 second to make sure that I'm happy with how that's in. Okay, so you got to remember that I've been in the business, I've been in the industry, I've been in the community more than anything. I've been in the community for a while, and the community. This is at a certain point in time. This is a certain point in history. You've got to remember that things change and people change and perspectives change. There was a movement in the community to get fully programmable keyboards. I mean, that was like the thing that everybody wanted, was a 60% keyboard that you could change where the arrow keys were. You could create different macros and functions. That's what everybody wanted. And it was like, that's the dream that's coming down the line. And at the same time as that was happening, mainstream manufacturers were just adding more LEDs to their keyboards. It was like marketing for idiots. It was like, let's just see how much bling we can add to our keyboards. And that is the way that keyboards have tended to progress. Now, at the same time as that's happening, places like Signature Plastics are releasing better and better keycaps, and they're not based on shine through at all. In fact, they don't need LEDs at all. In fact, people in the community, myself included, start saying, I can touch type. Because I can touch type, what the hell do I need LEDs for? LEDs signify a keyboard that's gone in the wrong direction. I just went under my head. It's actually gone in the wrong direction. It's gone in a different direction than what we wanted. What we wanted was more functional keyboards with more programmability, more of these Arduino chips built inside of it. And the two came to symbolize a crossroads, very much in the keyboard community. Again, at the time, things of course change and whatnot, but there was a group, and I know even though the name of our company is 1up Keyboards, it's about putting that one up on Mech Market. It's not about gaming. We're not a gaming company. We're a keyboard enthusiast company. And the distinction is a real one, even though our name tried to blur the line. In a lot of ways, the name 1up Keyboards tried to bridge the gap between the two communities. But at the same time, I've always felt that, especially when it comes to mass-produced boards, that LEDs add cost in a way that doesn't really add value. If you don't know how to type, if you're spending your time looking at your keyboard, then you're not doing it right. So in that way, it became like a system to reject LEDs. And then, when you start to think about it, really, it's just an aesthetic thing. It's not really a functional thing. When you're, especially when you're gaming and you've got your fingers on WASD, you are definitely not looking at the keyboard. And so LEDs just became this bit of an anomaly. It's like, who are we trying to please, and why are we trying to please them? And so, like I say, then it just becomes, now I'm like, the badge of honor that I wear is that I am a member of the community first, and I, like them, reject the stupid adding of lights for no reason to a keyboard for no reason just in order to try to market it towards gamers. Again, as a mechanical keyboard enthusiast, I'm, part of the push against the world of Corsair and the world of, I don't know who else, Steel Series. I don't know who else puts a lot of bling on their stuff. And that's what it becomes. It becomes, there's this arms race towards RGB LEDs. Who can fit the most RGB blah 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 on their board, the most programmable lights. And it's like, programmable lights, that's exactly the opposite of what we always wanted. What we always wanted was a keyboard so you press one key and outspits a whole sequence of actions, outspits a whole macro that puts out my address, which I write out 1,000 times a day. It spits out my email address or my favorite website. That's, now you're going to see this. Right now you can see why the Sweet 16 is actually a throwback board. The Sweet 16 is the board that we, the community, always wanted. It doesn't even have LEDs. There's no LED holes there. That's not what it's about. What this is about is those macros, that programmability that we were always after. Anyways, all that to say, the reason that I rejected LEDs was in part because I wanted the companies to understand what we, the community, wanted, as opposed to what their marketing hype brought. And in a lot of ways, that's what the foundation of 1UP Keyboards was about helping streamline the ability of the community to get their hands on programmable keyboards. Again, with us picking up the JD40 at first, the LJD Universals, the Satan GH60, and helping popularize that. Again, that's a lot about what 1UP Keyboards has been about, and consciously rejecting this move that Corsair and the Cooler Master Devastator, it's been about rejecting that. But I mean, overall, you want your keyboard to have a blue light behind it. Sure, it's totally a thing that's possible, easy to do. It's useful, but again, the ethos, the thing that underlies it, and my desire to reject it, has as much to do with my position in the community at a time that's, let's be honest, has long since passed. The keyboarding community, as it was on Reddit or Geek Hack or Desk Authority, as it was, is very different from what it is today. And I understand that. Like, it used to be in the old days, there was a key set every 3 months that was coming out that was new, and that's basically it. And like, you want something, you gotta wait for it. You couldn't even, the thing that I'm building today, you couldn't buy. There were no stores that carried a programmable 60% keyboard and all the parts you needed to build it. There was no place you could buy all of that at once. And in fact, the number of places you can still buy that's pretty limited. So that's, again, where 1UP Keyboards saw its point of origin. It saw its ability to help regulate and streamline stuff. And, as much as the keyboard community's changed, it also hasn't changed. The real problem that the keyboard community was facing at the time when 1UP Keyboards really came to the fore was that group buys weren't being honored. There were just a bunch of scam artists out there. And if you wanted bits and pieces, like you wanted to build your own 60% keyboard, you had to buy one piece off of Shady A, and then buy another piece off of Shady B, and another piece off of Shady C, and try to get them all in one place. And 1UP Keyboards tried to answer that in one way, and obviously Massdrop tried to answer that in another way. Now, over the years, Massdrop has obviously had a number of problems, and 1UP Keyboards has not. 1UP Keyboards has never written an apology mass, at least not to date. an apology to the community. We've never been in that much trouble. We've never missed dates. We refuse to sell things on promises that we didn't think we could keep up. We grew in a different way. But let's be honest, we didn't grow nearly as fast as Massdrop did. And the customer base that we have, I think, is very different from the customer base that Massdrop has. And yeah, that's why I hate LEDs. Was that the question that you asked? I hate LEDs because of what they represent. Not because of what they are. What they are is just a little bit of light in your keyboard. But what they represent is the derailment of my hobby headed in a weird direction that I don't like. If that's not the longest, weirdest answer to a very simple question, we had this thing too. This is years ago again. We had this thing where guys would show up with their brand new Poker 2s and be like, end game, or they'd buy one of those. They'd buy an aluminum base, which again were impossible to find for a while. They were made by techs only, and techs would make them in small batches, like 20 or 40 at a time. And God, they were hard to get. But somebody would like rock up with a Poker 2 with one of those bases and be like, they'd be the coolest kid at the meetup. And so I made a board that looked like that, and I thought I was so cool because I had like a sleeper board. But nowadays, you know, nobody even knows what the heck I'm talking about. They're like, yo, is that a Poker 2? And I'm like, no, it's a custom. And they're like, cool. That's it. But you know, the world moves on. The community moved on too. I'm not like pretending that we're still stuck in 2015. We're not. We're definitely not. I remember there were like, this is years ago again. I remember there were like 60 or 70,000 community members on Reddit in the RMK group, which I mean is a lot, but it's nothing compared to the 200,000 plus we have now. And at 70,000, I used to time my releases of stuff on Mech Market until there were like at least 50 viewers watching at the same time. And you know, nowadays you can't find a time that doesn't have 50 viewers on it. So times change. Times change. Was that your question? That was your question, right? That's what you were really asking? This is going to be a cool keyboard, that's for sure. Steph, did I say too much? Did I rant on too long then?
It was an extended answer for sure.
It was an extended answer. Does anybody else have any questions that they'd like for me to spend half an hour answering? Yeah, sleeper boards. I thought they were super cool, man. So I got Poker 2 keycaps. I got an aluminum base. I put in a gray slate top. So again, it was like, you'd barely notice it. And then, yeah, Zelios instead of Cherry MX clears. And the Zelios were lubed. Plus, it was a fully programmable keyboard. And it was like, you wouldn't even notice. You'd just be like, oh, it's $100 keyboard. But nope, it was a good one. It was a real good one. But yeah, that's the sort of stuff I'm into. And like, I was working. I'm still working at the same place, although the guy I work with is different. But there was this dude at work who was like, he was the chief creative officer, and he came over to my desk and he said, "I heard you spent a lot of money on your keyboard." And I was like, "Well, this one's probably worth, you know, and it was one of my LJD87s, or the TKL keyboard. And I had Pulse on it, Pulse R1, and I was like, yeah, it's probably worth like, I don't know, $1,000. And he's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, well, you know, the keycaps are super rare, and the Zelios and the fully programmable blah blah blah, and it's carbon fiber, and he's like, looks like an ordinary keyboard to me. I just thought, what? I mean, what? What do you mean ordinary keyboard? I mean, what do you mean? Like, it looks like an Apple keyboard? No, it doesn't. Where in what world is that normal? What, have you been living with Commodore 64s for the last 20 years? Like, what do you mean it looks like a normal keyboard? I don't, like, what? But he doesn't work with me anymore. Nice fella. Weird taste in keyboards. Excuse Pete, have you looked at Tina from KBD Fans? What's your opinion about it? I have not looked at Tina from KBD Fans. I have no opinion of it. That's Ski with Pete. If you put an LED in the sockets before installing the switches to put this enter straight. Yeah, I could do that. I could probably do that. But then I'd have to put it in each one and then take it apart. And I don't know, man. Is that really what I want to do with my evening? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm more into this fiddly. I'll tell you what, I'll try it. I'll just pop one out of here, right? What do you mean you don't understand every part of my esoteric hobby? Yeah, you got it now. You got it now. Oh, look at this. It's making one of those things float up. It's not that I didn't think that he got my esoteric hobby. But I just thought it was a weird comment. Not that everybody has to get what I'm into. Absolutely the opposite of that. It's just that, you know, you just think that people will just appreciate something slightly different. And again, I'm not saying that he was gonna like, oh sure, man, that's awesome. I'm gonna spend $1,000 just like you and get the same keyboard you got. No, that's not at all what I expected. Quite the opposite. But you know, when I come across people who have like $10,000 stereos, maybe I do actually. I go, what the hell? I don't get it. This sounds like a normal stereo. A normal stereo? $10,000. Oh. Now you can tell the difference between good stuff and shit stuff. You totally can. Anybody who tells you otherwise just doesn't know. Look, it's not a Pulse. It's not beautiful. It's not my thing. I can't believe you would spend so much money on a keyboard. I get all that. But saying it looks normal to me, I just think, what? How many other carbon fiber, fully programmable SA keyboards do you come across in your average day? I don't know. It's a lot of things, but it's not normal. No, actually, to be quite honest, adding this LED has not done a whole hell of a lot. I haven't decided what keycap set I'm putting on this yet. Damn! 3 hours and 45 minutes. Damn. Well, guys, this is winding down already. I'm not going to be able to finish this on this evening's stream. Tomorrow night, I am hopeful at best to be able to get some stream time in. So this might be a midweeker to finish off. Stephanie, darling, any chance I could have some more water, please? I used to do these. I used to do these articles for Mech Market called Artisan Corner, the Artisan Corner. They were pretty fun. They were pretty cool. It got me talking to a lot of pretty interesting people in the keyboard community. And one of my favorite people who you should totally check out is Margot Baggins of Margot Mods. He's totally a cool dude, and we had for a long time stayed in touch. The B-Sun Browns I've always thought would be his sort of thing, but he's disappeared recently, and I haven't been able to track him down since we got the B-Sun Browns, which is a real shame. Like I said, I think of all the people in the world, he would probably be the person who appreciates them the most. He loves a brown switch. Never liked clears. Never liked thank you. Never liked Zelios, really. Thought they were too fancy. Yeah, unfortunately, he's pretty much disappeared now. He's the one who assembled the original JD40s. An absolute legend. He was quick to slag a lot of keyboard companies off for exactly that. He put into words a lot of the feelings that a lot of us had at the time about LEDs, and he helped. In a lot of ways, he helped drive this channel and one-up keyboards forward. Provided an inspiration. He also gave me this beautiful Artisan, which I'm forever grateful for. Gave me one of the 420 Sticky Ickies from Clack Factory. Just a real solid dude. If you ever come across Margot Baggins, do say what's up from me. Yeah, I got to tell you guys, in the old days, like in the opening days, it was hard to find a Cherry MX switch. Like, it was just hard to find them. There was this dude who used to harvest them off of old keyboards, and that was like the only way you could find a genuine Cherry switch. And then this other manufacturer came out with switches. And they weren't just as good, they were better. And we went nuts. And they were available. Oh my God, when Gaterons came on the market, guys, you gotta believe me. It was insane. Gaterons, do you remember that? I say that, it's only like 2 years ago, but 2.5 maybe. But yeah, these times they are changing. We have huge news just around the corner. I mean, literally days away from huge news that will not just change the way the community is perceived, but especially one-up keyboards. We're very, very excited about it, but too soon to share at all we've got to wait just another couple of days until we're all tucked in bed, and then we'll be ready to talk. Yeah, Mange HD, you know what I'm talking about. And you couldn't, at first you couldn't get them. And we contacted Gateron just after launching 1UP keyboards, and we were like, hey, your switches are awesome. We'd like to get them. And they're like, minimum order $100,000. And we're like, we're probably not going to be able to do that. You know, times change. Well, guys, that's it. I gotta go. I can't stick around any longer. I genuinely have to go. It's been super fun hanging out with you as always. Just gonna try to get this one last switch in. Nope. Man, it's so painful. Jimmy Lopez, you will, man. You totally will. It's just not going to be tonight. That's okay. This is the internet, man. You're going to... In a couple days, this will be recorded up for you. Even if you can't catch it live, you're totally going to see it. But unfortunately, as we hit 3 hours and 55 minutes, we're in... we're inside the threat of losing this stream, so I have to end it. I have to end it here. So thank you very much to everybody who came by. Don't forget to press like. Don't forget to press subscribe. If you haven't already, go check in the About section or video description below so that you can find all the stuff that you saw on my desk today, including all the bits and pieces, well, soon enough, for this keyboard. If you have any comments, questions, leave them in the comment section below. What else am I supposed to say?
I don't know. I usually ask you.
Go to oneupkeyboards.com. Go check it out. Support the community. Support the this channel. Do the good stuff. Get the quality stuff. Don't buy cheap. That is all from me. Saying what's up from One Up Keyboards HQ. Wearing my awesome One Up Keyboards. Bye from me. Bye from my mustache. Peace. We'll see you guys back again soon. Don't forget, even though the stream is over, the chat continues. All you need to do is go actually into the About section. Go check out the Discord. And you guys can keep hanging out as long as you want after that. I'll see you guys back again very soon. Indeed. I gotta end the stream though. We're butting up against the 4-hour time limit. Catch you guys in a bit. Peace.